Deadpool's on a dragon. Today I am reviewing Geek Girl by Smale. This book was impossible to put down. It's hilarious, heartwarming, brave, and meaningful. I wish I had had this when I was an awkward teenager. The first-person POV is masterfully done. I loved being inside the head of Harriet Manners. It was such an interesting and, yes, awkward place to be. I liked that this was all about a girl just trying to figure out where she fits into the world. That she happens to do this by stepping into the fashion business, even though she doesn't like clothes or wear heels, well, that was just an added bonus. I wasn't really sure what to expect with this, but I was fairly certain that there would be some vicious backstabbing characters. This is about the fashion world after all, and I have seen Devil Wears Prada. Surprisingly, the fashion world was not as cruel and heartless as I feared it would be. I say fear because while I love a good fish out of water coming of age self-discovery story, I don't necessarily like them to be uncomfortable. Awkward? Sure, I can take that. But I don't like it when characters are unnecessarily mean or spiteful, even if they are the quote-unquote bad guy of the story. There were a couple of those types of characters within the book, but they had limited page space. For the most part, they were not featured heavily in the story, and the characters within the fashion world were much more interesting than that. Like, you got Ido, who is cold and ruthless and severe and intimidating, but not necessarily cruel. I had so many favorite parts about this book. The best friends, Harriet and Nat. Harriet's would-be boyfriend slash stalker, Toby, who, while not exactly adorable, at least had a good role in the story in helping Harriet put things into perspective. All of the characters were wonderful and bursting with personality. I liked that the romance subplot was so subtle that it was secondary. In fact, Geek Girl focuses on Harriet's attempt to reinvent herself, the best friend crisis, the family issues, the school problems, and the fish out of water stuff. But when you really think about it, the romance was really sixth on the list. Geek Girl was all about self-discovery, and none of that self-discovery was a result of liking or being liked by a guy. Fist bump. I love Harriet so much because she's just such a normal person. Well, maybe not the geeky bits and all of the factoids, but she frets and she worries and she always jumps to the worst case scenarios even though she should know better. And she is all around just a 15-year-old girl. Everything about her is so easy to relate to. I think girls for generations to come will love growing up with Harriet Manners and learning things along with her. Above all, I loved what Smale had to say about accepting yourself with all of your quirks and your faults, instead of trying to twist yourself into a pretzel just so that somebody else will accept you. Loved this story. Geek Girl by Smale gets 4 stars. I can't believe it took me this long to read it, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. Poof!